Hi and welcome to the Director's Commentary and Evaluation for Burst. I am Director Mark Adaka. This is...
Shine Duffy.
This is...
Nuts.
This is...
First part.
To add a certain sense of authenticity in our film, it is important that we follow a certain set of opening conventions in our film to, make it more believable that it's not just a student-based kind of thing. One of these opening conventions is a backstory, or in other words, a prologue. I'll say maybe about 80% of films tend to have some kind of opening, introduction, backstory kind of thing. In our case, it's the story of Amelia Baker, who was the first person to be killed by this so-called Sclapsville Clown, who was the main antagonist. I'm going to tell you a real scary story. Have you heard of the Sclapsville Clown? It was important that we use this as it kind of set up the tone for the rest of the movie and kind of engage the reader straight away. And it's that kind of emotionally gripping kind of thing, just a
Start off the movie.
Yeah, start the movie.
Another convention we use is the titles. We use the titles to introduce the cast to show who's going to be in the movie.
It also kind of like advertises the movie, because like if you know, oh, that's a celebrity I like, they
kind of attracts
film.
Yeah. It attracts the fan from that actor.
Yeah.
And also we use the title to identify the movie. So if I was going through the shop and I saw Burst, I think, I've seen the trailer of that, I'm going to go and buy it. Be good.
In addition to this, we use music. Music within a film opening helps engage the person watching. It also accompanies the film and links to the genre in which is horror. It is like a preparation for the actual film when you're watching that, so it builds up suspense, and it also channels the mood.
Follows you as it followed her. Everywhere she went, it was there. There's only...
A big convention we also used was narration. The reason we use narration is to kind of introduce the characters at first, so we get like an idea of who our characters, who are speaking, and who we can like trust in the movie. As well as this, we also use narration to kind of help explain the backstory. So for those who don't get it from just watching it, this narration helps us, helps them to understand it and helps us explain it a bit better.
It's also quite like a common convention, isn't it, when it comes to openings, like Shrek has narration, right?
Legend narration was as well. A lot of films use narration.
Yeah.
So that kind of inspired us to use it as well.
That also builds suspense as well, as well as music.
As well as using just opening conventions, it's important that we use conventions which are true to our genre, which is obviously horror. One of the key conventions, horror conventions we used, was the whole red writing side of it, which is like very, very frequent in horror films.
Because it symbolises like blood and death.
It's really common.
Yeah, like red kind of also symbolises anger, violence, like a lot of like kind of negative things which the movie is supposed to invoke also. The title of the film also incorporates an inverted pentagram, which I did some research into, and that's commonly associated with Satanism, demonic possession, and all that kind of paranormal things, which is again prevalent in our film's opening as well as the film.
Also, when doing a film opening, we use horror convention, and that was jump scares. We used the jump scares, obviously, to get the people who were watching it off their seats, like even before the film's actually started. So,
Kind of gets adrenaline pumping like straight away. Kind of shows, and that introduces the whole jump scare aspect of the film, showing that film will have jump scares, you will be off your seats, you're never going to be...
It gets like a good feeling, doesn't it? Like a good vibe, like, oh my god, this film is actually going to be something scary.
And they know what they're getting into.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, having a jump scare at the beginning makes them feel like this is actually going to be a terrifying film, because I'm always going to be on edge.
Isn't it? Like when you read a book and you read something and you just want to read on to find out what's going to happen next. Another convention we used, Another convention we used was paranormal events. This links into things such as ghosts, monsters, demons, and anything that builds fear. In ours, we used a demonic ghost clown, in which obviously built fear for our film.
Again, having paranormal events is like another common convention, like films like Nightmare on Elm Street, pretty much all
Kind of
like
like
that tend to what distinct something from a horror. No, distinct separates horror and thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An additional convention we used for horror was the eerie music.
No.
How? I thought everyone had. You must have at least heard the legend. You know, Amelia Baker. She was stalked by the clown. Stalked?
We use this because it's quite important because it kind of gives that people, that viewers, that kind of that cringe effect. Not cringe, but like gives that shiver down the spine when you hear that eerie music.
Yeah, and especially the way we recorded it, we are both myself and Jasmine singing like different harmonies, and that kind of makes it awkward, eerie.
Yeah.
Like,
We had it in the background of the film opening as well, so it
yeah.
kind of like, ooh.
It's
And
like
use
an
the
extra
piano,
thing that
wasn't
viewers
it?
have to deal with, there's an extra scope.
Yeah, and also
Yeah,
using
use the
that.
piano.
We only use one instead of having some beautiful song, we just use one eerie, and like kind of one continuous note.
Obviously played in low key.
Yeah, low key.
Loki is always eerie as well.
Also, the song we chose was quite memorable, so people are going to remember it and kind of link back to this film.
It's quite catchy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's follows. It's like, well, we wouldn't want to make it something iconic, like something like Jaw or something
Harry
like
Potter.
yeah, something people will be able to recall, imagine, you know.
And also,
easily think of.
like also hearing it, if they hear it on like the radio or something, they're gonna think, oh, that was from Burst. So
And it makes you want to watch it as well.
Yeah.
You realise that you
Yeah.
hear things and you think, oh, actually, I haven't seen that in ages, and you go back and watch it, so it makes it more common and gets it more views than it would do, like I say, in a film.
As well as that, we used quite a wide range of lighting. I think we used
Yeah.
both high key and low key because we used low key at where we actually meet the characters. It's quite dark, and then very high key when we're doing a flashback to give it that eerie sense.
I think it's important to, when you're making a horror movie, that you use both kind of ends of the spectrum,
Change of mood.
especially some high end section, because if it's just that medium, it doesn't really give you that kind of awkward, you know, force feel like, you know, low key lighting or high key
It's like a
lighting.
big downfall, isn't it, really? So
Yeah.
say, like, you have low and high key. If you're at a high point, everyone's thinking, nice is fine. So then when the actual, like I say, horror thing actually does come in, and something does happen, it makes it more scary for the person watching.
Oh, for God's sake. Things which inspired us now. Okay.
I think there was a scary.
No, that's Russian. Hold on.
Three, two,
Sorry.
one.
One of our main inspirations when it came to creating Burst was Carrie. The thing about Carrie, the Carrie opening, which I really liked, was the use of red titles, which we obviously incorporated in our film. It just kind of made you...
Like, yeah, it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable watching it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
oh.
something horror movie just have to
It
do.
should have.
Yeah. What else inspired us?
What inspired us to use the idea of clowns was the film Sinister. You know, you have that murderous clown that kind of victimizes people. And, so
Like the film It as well. Yeah.
so we kind of took that and put it into our own film with our own little twist, gave it a little bit of a backstory, and made it our own little character.
It's like a character from a nightmare. It's so common, isn't it? If you have any type of nightmare from, like, I don't know, like, that's how you link to it more, if that makes sense.
Plus,
Like,
everyone has that fear of clowns.
Yeah,
So
yes.
it kind of relates
that
to
scare that
everyone.
you get from it, and it's just, like I say, it builds anticipation.
And when we was filming our film opening, it was around about Halloween time, and
Yeah.
when this was all going around, there was clown sightings going around. So, like, obviously, we kind of took our idea from there as well, because everyone got quite terrified from the clowns. So we thought, okay, this could be a good idea to use clowns in our film opening and use it as a main subject in our film.
Why not use something which is happening in the real world? And
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's up their ideas, didn't you?
And just
See
get
why
beaten
those
up and
clowns
film
were
it.
Just a good kind of place to go.
Yeah. It was a bit wary though, because obviously it was starting to get a bit of a law, you're not allowed to wear clown costumes
It's
outside.
getting very serious.
Yeah. We did challenge quite a few horror conventions, in fact.
Yeah, I think one thing which you challenged was I don't know, we use quite a few like light-hearted moments in our
Yeah.
film, especially like during the opening, because that kind of shows the whole equilibrium side of it. So that everything started off in this normal, happy
Yeah.
kind of.
Plus, I think you have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, it's just the viewers just gonna find it
But
dull.
then,
boring.
like I say, there needs a story behind it, because if you get connections, because like I say, if you have this close bond between these two people, and it's like, as when it actually does happen, it's like more jaw dropping. So it's
Yeah.
like you're building a connection with these people, and then when something does happen, you're like, oh my god, and it makes it more intense.
And
Yeah.
if it's just dark throughout the whole movie, people are gonna
It's
leave
dull.
feeling like
Just dark.
Yeah,
you,
like-
you need to want to root for these characters. You need to want them to inspire.
You need to
and
want
you
to
don't-
shout
you
and
don't
scream
get
like
that
you
with-
do.
You don't get that without like
Yeah. Our main social group represented are modern day teenagers. The first person we're going to see is Monty.
My character Monty is like the main protagonist, and he comes from an African descendant, and is shown to represent like a multicultural boy living in the UK. So Monty does seem to come across as a bit of like a lovable loser. He's witty, a joker, and he seems to be more of a typical kind of boy.
Typical,
He has a very like loyal bond with his two best friends, and he does like respect them highly.
Yes. It's not. I'm surprised you guys haven't heard of it.
Oh, Monty, why are you always trying to scare us?
I guess I can say it's in my genes.
What I liked about Monty was the fact that he did bring in that kind of multiculturalness. Like, we are living in an ever-changing world where everyone's kind of mixing and changing, so it's good that we have characters which represent everyone,
Yeah.
especially in the UK. Another adventure we were talking about is how often in horror movies it's the black people who die first, and in ours it's kind of a twist by having the black person the main character, so everyone expects him to.
In reality,
Yeah.
it's like a bigger part in them.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. The other character is James, played by Lewis.
Okay, so James is quite a nerdy boy. I think nerdy but cocky. Maybe thinks he's quite like a lad's lad and not really.
Yeah, a bit of
Doesn't
like
really work for
a
him, will
weirdo.
it?
Yeah, kind of. He's a bit of a workaholic. He always does like his homework on
Yeah.
time. I think he always like nags Monty, like get his work done.
It's time for me to go. Boss is in.
I'll see you, dude.
See you
Bye.
later. You did better do Eurovision tonight.
Yeah, no.
Everyone needs a friend like that, don't they?
Definitely.
Yeah. He's I think he's very close with his friends. I think he's got a good relationship with both of them, especially Monty, because I think they grew up together. James is a character that is quite an underdog, kind of overlooked a bit, maybe a bit underrated, but actually ends up saving the day, so that's quite good. To show that you don't have to be the big popular kid to be the hero, I guess.
Like Superman.
Yeah, definitely.
He also doesn't really follow any trends. He's kind of like a hipster in that sense. He
Yeah.
has his own trends. He's not really up to date with any of the other.
Unique.
Yeah.
Like if I think of your character, I think of him wearing like braces, and,
Yeah.
you know, the
Chevy
shirts.
bottoms.
Oh, James. The next character is Annie, the third protagonist.
The love interest.
Annie represents a more modern teenage girl. She is not subjected to just being about looks and makeup, but can hang with the boys. So she is, like I say, not a girly girl, not in that sense she can get along with anyone and everyone. She's
more than just a pretty face.
Yeah, she's not like I say, the one that goes out, gets her nails and hair done. She would more or less hang out with boys all day and be happy with that. Though we follow typical films by making her a victim and love interest, it all basically links into things like patriarchal, and that is basically the way that, even though she isn't that type of girl, she still is an object to men and is still like gets men's attention, which also gets into male gaze as well, of course.
She is like quite a love interest. She's supposed to be slim and sexy. She's like she's flirty and is a bit ditzy at times.
Yeah.
Oh, Monty, why are you always trying to scare us?
I guess I can say it's in my genes.
Well, I think I better be going now.
Oh, I'll walk you to the door.
And we also did victimise her quite a bit. Like
Yeah.
she was always the one to be captured by the cat and to be fainting, etc. etc.
Mm.
And the story was told of her being like speaking about her, wasn't he? When Monty was talking to her about the story.
Yeah, trying to scare.
Yeah.
And it's common for girls to get scared, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we're all emotional and
Emotionally vulnerable.
Emotional
Yeah.
wreck.
Yeah.
definitely.
In our film opening, all the teenagers seem to be up to date with like technology, they're up to date with the fashion, they're up to date with like the style that's going around.
Like they all use phones in it, and like throughout the film
Yeah.
they use computers and blah blah. Especially James, he's like a bit scared. He
Yeah.
hacks, etc. To find out information on the crowd. Jackie got a fancy little scar, etc.
And
etc.
obviously, being a teenager, a typical teenager, they also see the world as what they think they see. So obviously,
Everything's in there with you.
yeah, so the urban legend they obviously think or they know it's real. But other
Yeah.
like adults wouldn't see it as being real. because-
Which is quite common in the film, because it is like no one believes something.
Yeah.
They want
Yeah.
to get help with the clown.
Maybe that's why people are so attracted to the character of Monty as well, because he's quite not on technology as much, he's more on his wits.
Yeah.
And that's why I think everyone loves
Just
him
common
as well,
sense.
because there's no technology in the end and it's all one wits and just the kids being smart.
And obviously, teenagers are more open to urban legends than adults are because they just brush it aside and think this is just fake.
But what I also liked with the whole scene, if from the teenage point of view, was the whole idea of love. Like they are
Yeah.
grown up and
Yeah.
they are starting to experience things like fancy this and fancy that. Especially Monty and like Annie, they've got quite an awkward relationship because they're so used to being friends, but they are starting to develop feelings and they are
Yeah.
starting
They
to.
don't have to handle it. It's
Yeah.
common like.
And obviously, like with it, you can see in the film opening that they are all put together as well.
Yeah.
It's like
They're really all excited.
Especially when games lose, it gets very awkward.
I kind of like that though.
Yeah,
because
so do I.
when you want to watch it, you want to see their like how
See
their
how the
relationship
progress.
grows. Yeah. And see what does happen. I think that's quite engaging for
With
teenagers,
them
especially
characters.
girls.
With the characters, we'll be like that.
Yeah, definitely.
it kind of gives the viewers like a little bond with them as well. It's like, oh, that's quite
It's
cute.
quite nice.
So it's
Yeah.
like dealing with like all the
That's like a
stress.
light-hearted moment yet again, linking
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
It's like that light-hearted moment, and then you see the downfall to all that, and I think that's what impacts you the most because you go off thinking, oh my god, because you're just like we had that like emotional attachment to those characters.
Yeah.
It's like you're dealing. These teenagers are dealing with stuff like homework, love, adult stress,
It's exactly what we
etc.
are now.
And
Murderous Clown.
It's just
now
reality,
they're
isn't it,
adding
really?
to this with Murderous Clown. So
Yeah.
I always joke that the real horror is coming of age.
The other groups represented in the film are adults.
All the adults in the film are evil. We did this to reflect how lots of teens see adults, obviously, like, because some adults can be like, oh god, teenagers, typical teenagers this, typical teenagers that, and it gives us teenagers an idea, like of what we think about adults is like not very good.
Both generations tend to like antagonise each other, don't they?
You actually begin to find that some teenagers are actually better than adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, they find that.
Like some adults don't even care about the younger generation; they more care about themselves and the older generation. It's like kids should be just left behind. I think that's really important.
Yeah. An example of this is Johnny Wentworth, who's obviously the Scratchsaw clown, and he is being evil. He was kind of a tragic villain, if that makes sense. Like he didn't. All he wanted was a successful career, but he was kind of played and cursed and doomed to this role.
Yeah.
And kind of forced to do this.
Yeah. Like because he's so evil.
So deep down, before all this, he's not really an evil character, is he?
No,
He's
it's
not that
more
bad.
he's being possessed, really, isn't he? If you think about it, he's more being possessed by the devil.
That's why he's always referred to as the Scratchsaw Clown and not Johnny Wentworth.
He's kind of lost his fancy. So I
That's
feel
And
like
that was his name as well.
I feel
It's
that it was kind of to symbolise maybe some adults in general, like how sometimes their innocence, their childhood stripped from them into the real world. Like
Yeah.
the devil being the real world and the adults
Yeah.
being children.
And the fortune teller is evil as well.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah,
She was just evil as a spy. Like she was that
She tricks
false.
the kids.
Yeah, she was that false hero kind of character. So she gained their trust and just
Yeah.
completely abandoned them, showing
And to be
them.
fair, she did tell the truth, but just
Yeah.
kind of left stuff out.
Oh, that's called a
Illusion,
religion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Religion.
Religion.
Yeah. English technique.
When we want to advertise our film, we would preferably use like social media because obviously, if you announce it all on social media and show our film on social media, it become more of a thing everyone would see it. Kids would see it, teenagers would see it, adults would see it, old people would see it. it's like more of an everything person scene, isn't
And
it?
it's
Everyone's on
quite,
social media.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
quite like
Sharing
relatively
as
cheap
well.
to.
Yeah, you don't even need to actually put money towards it apart from on the like phone or the computer.
Yeah, the sharing makes it global as well. Like,
Yeah,
everyone,
exactly.
one person shares it and it'll go round and round and round and round and round. So it's sort of like I say, it's just.
Like some of the best movies I watched the trailers I always saw from social media, not really like from the cinema
Yeah.
or when
Yeah.
you expect it, like for example Nerve and Power
Yeah.
Rangers was really good.
Like, because you get people that share it on Facebook and they're like, oh my god, I'm so gonna watch this, and then you get curious and you're like, oh, let's watch the trailer to it, and you think actually that's actually really good. I'll watch
Twitter's
it.
massive for it because you get all the companies under a Twitter account.
And games, because games advertise if they've got like if they're free, they have to advertise things, and it comes up, pops up like, oh, new game, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. What's that? What's a really good like app? Which
I think Snapchat is a good app because obviously when you click on yourself, you can like use an effect.
oh yeah, the Facebook.
Yeah, and obviously if we was to advertise our film, we can like put an effect like Killer Clown. We can put that effect and people can be the killer
Like
character.
Suicide Squad can do it, and
Yeah.
that was super
Yeah.
massive.
Really good.
And I'm sure a bunch of horror movies have also done it. Like for example,
Women in Black
Women in Black,
did it.
yeah.
Was it Black Swan? Is
Yeah.
that one? Yeah, Black
Pretty sure
Swan did it.
Sinister did one, and that's what our movies like.
Yeah.
Inspired from.
And obviously, because obviously that Snapchat is like more for teenagers, because teenagers are like, you know,
That's how
photogenic. They love taking photos of themselves. It's more of a mainstream app for teenagers.
Definitely. And
So-
like Jasmine said, teenagers are our target demographic.
Yeah,
So
it
really
is.
Snapchat, like I say, the main purpose really is to target the people who are actually fulfilling sport.
So if we was to advertise it, we would post it like more on like stuff teenagers would go on, so like Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, because you know you can get apps on it. Like,
Instagram's also good.
yeah, isn't it? Because it comes up in the newsfeed.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that we would do.
In terms of distributing our film like worldwide, I would really like for a big production company like Universal Pictures to like, you know, send it out. Does that make sense? Like that would probably be our ultimate goal. And I choose Universal Pictures because it is famous for popularising the whole monsters, like cinematic universe, like
Yeah.
stuff like Frankenstein, Dracula, etc. They're all like under the Universal name. This is like back when movies first started, what they called talkies, and back in like the 1920s, that's when monsters were like a big thing, and that's what kind of inspired the whole horror genre to continue and evolve into what it is. And not just like the old-fashioned times, they still do horror movies a lot now, like Unfriended, which is one of my favourite horror movies, which
Yeah.
also kind of inspired Burst because...
Which one's Unfriended?
It's
Is that
all
Scott?
Sparkle.
Yeah, because what I like about that is that it's all to do with teenagers, all about teenagers, their relationships.
I think it attracted us because we were teenagers as well, because we see
Exactly.
pictures like
That's
people all
very
the
much-
time.
that's
And even in that film, they link to social media and the way that
Exactly.
they use the Skype, and that's how
It's
it's
kind of-
conducted. Because it's not, like I say, it's not that they go out and meet up. That is generally the use of technology nowadays. Is just generally sat at home on your phone. So
And it's like watching them on Skype as well, it thinks, I've been on that before. You know, I've sat there and I've played on that.
It's really good when you're watching a laptop as well, so
yeah.
kind of a whole new way of watching it.
It's like, it just helps you relate, it helps you understand, and it really does draw in us as
Yeah.
teenagers.
Yeah.
And that's why we linked into social media with our film, isn't it?
And you just know that you can trust Universal Pictures to make a good film. Like I don't know a bad Universal film like that. And the audience will also have that trust in Universal that, you know, it's got a big production company, which is one of the first ever big, you know, blockbuster kind of movie productions, and it just gives us a little bit of reassurance that they can really do well with this movie. So
Our backup production that we also had to use is Blumhouse Productions.
yeah.
They're also quite famous for making a few horror films. They made Paranormal Activity and Sinister.
Oh, I like that film.
Yeah, so even from the production logo, you can just get the drift of the
Yeah.
vibe that it's gonna be a horror movie. Like, I'm pretty sure it's the one. Yeah, it's one where there's like chairs and stuff flying around and creaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen
that
like.
with like pretty much every well-known horror movie.
Mm.
So because they're well known, we'd like to use them as well because that would just help our movie just.
And kind of like establishes the genre, you know.
And like when you watch a film and you don't actually realise it has Blumhouse in it, but you know it is them because it's got that flying chair. You're like, this is gonna be a good horror
It's
film.
gonna be scary or something. It's gonna be jump scares. It's gonna be stuff.
Although we could go for a safer option, which is Ghostlight Pictures. This is really, like I say, like a niche production company because it's not really that well known.
Yeah.
They are more willing to obviously help us distribute our film
Yeah.
because, like I say, they're not as big and they have, like I say, they're not. They would appreciate anything given to them, if that makes sense. So they would be like, okay, what can we do with this? And they have more time on their hands to
Yeah.
distribute things.
Sometimes.
Obviously-
Oh yeah, go on.
And then obviously if we do like use them, they become a little bit more well known
Yeah, that's
and
what I
everything.
was saying. It's
Yeah.
like
So it's a win-win.
we give and they
Advertising.
take, and we take and they give. It's like
Yeah.
everyone's helping each other. That makes sense. Like we give them a better name. If Burst ends up being successful, that can boost their company.
Yeah,
so
it makes them look good as well.
Yeah,
And then you kind of got that partnership as well.
definitely.
Because they could be starring in any of our other films or we could make it. Our target demographic would be people aged between 15 and 25, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, and like we've got it in, so it's set for females and males, not just for that. Like, not just for like, it's not targeted on one, like.
Yeah, it's geared towards one.
Yeah.
For everyone. Yeah.
It's also like, it's for, we've targeted it for everyone, but it is more for people aged between, like young adults and teenagers, because it's a mainstream type of film.
Yeah. Also, it's like I say, people that seek thrill and, like I say, just generally enjoy the horror side of things, like horror films
Yeah.
in general.
Because there's like some people who just don't like to be scared, so it's a film for people who
Who want that for?
yeah, right.
It's like,
Yeah.
it kind of takes you out of the real world, doesn't it? It puts you into a world that is actually make-believe and that won't actually happen. So it kind of gives you that like excitement, like, oh, what if this did happen, what could I do? And it gives you that thinking
I
mode.
think in terms of Blondie and Cat's theory, it's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
escapism, like showing everyday stresses of like someone else's life kind of eases the pain.
Yeah.
You just have to have that general enjoyment. Like I
Yeah.
say, 'cause if you don't, then that's not,
Yeah.
like I say, right for you.
It's also like targeted towards people who have coulrophobia,
Yeah.
which, if you don't know, is a fear of clowns, which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So they can relate to us in that sense.
So what? So people who has like a fear of clowns would watch it.
If they want that for
Yeah.
They,
it's
okay,
like-
Because I know quite a few people who have a fear of clowns that wouldn't want to watch it because of the
Yeah.
clown being in it. So it's kind of like mixed. People who like
It's like
would
the worst
watch it.
nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
like, you know, oh, if they see a killer clown, they're going to avoid the film. But
Or some people can take it as facing the food.
yeah, there's
Yeah,
like two
true.
different types, I guess.
I think people who would be watching it would probably have quite a high disposable income, like if they're being teenagers, all their money comes straight from their parents and they don't have
Yeah.
like taxes and bills to pay. But
Young adults, kind of.
yeah, but I guess like when you're over 25, then it kind of becomes a lot harder.
And being the age of 25, you can still be living at your parents' home because you've
Yeah.
still got like
Yeah,
low
you can
income
have kids
coming
as
in.
well.
Yeah, true. My mum had kids pretty young. But I guess it's the same as well. It's like on the other opposite end of the spectrum, like kids, like for example, I only get £10 a week, and to like older generations, that's not really that much, is it? So it's like, so maybe their disposable income is quite low. But on a general note, they don't have to spend it on stuff like taxes and bills and rent, so they can just spend it on watching the movie and go to the cinema and buy DVDs.
And generally, it's just for people who love horror films or
Yeah,
horror
who seek the
books.
thrill.
Just-
Yeah, like it's got to be people who like the horror genre, like Lewis said, novels and
Yeah.
comic books, etc.
It takes them out of their world.
Like
People
The
who like
Shining.
the feeling of coming out of
Yeah.
the real world.
But of course, this is just target audience. Obviously, if anyone can appeal to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, because it's like,
Someone might see it and think that's not something I'd usually watch, but might not.
give it a try.
Yeah, it's a good film for everyone.
I mean, if I had a fear of clowns, I think I'd probably give it a try because you want to know if the clown will get killed, and it kind of makes you feel good about yourself knowing that clown's dead. But you just never know until you watch it.
To address our target audience, we decided to add a relatability to our characters. So, for example, we made them the same age range as target audience we're trying to achieve. So the characters are 16, 17 roughly, and they all go to school. So it's quite relatable.
Yeah, because we all go to school, don't we? And then when we watch a film that occurs with people who are younger, like the same age as us, it kind of draws us in.
Yeah, definitely.
There is also a main combination of male and females in our film, like with their, so it isn't like targeted on one type of gender.
Yeah.
There's females and males, and it kind of brings in different types of audience, and also because the characters have different types of personalities as well, like they're distinctive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind
Quite
of
wide
relates to
not everyone, but it relates to
The majority of different teenagers, like the
Stereotypes.
nerdy one, the cool
Yeah.
one, the girl.
popular ones.
I love it.
You know,
But it suits everyone.
It does, yeah.
So there's always someone you
Yeah.
can relate to.
So it draws in almost everyone, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That are obviously the age of teenagers and stuff.
The way we attract the audience is through modern technology, which, like I say, at this age, so many youngsters are using it nowadays.
Like obviously you see, I think you see Lewis in a part of the scene on his phone, don't you?
Yeah.
Come on, Zoom, why are you always trying to scare us?
Yeah, I guess I can say it's in my gene.
Kind of
Yeah,
drawing the attention
like-
as well.
Like throughout the whole film, like technology is like on their side. It's like, you know, for once, normally technology
It's
is used,
against them.
yeah, but then for once it's like the one thing which helps them research a clown and, you know, set up traps, etc., etc. So it's like cool to see, you know, something positive about technology, especially as kids are so reliant and so dependent on it. It kind of shows
Yeah.
that, you know,
It can be used for good.
it can be used
Yeah.
for good.
Because it also, because the older generation think, oh, technology this, technology that, but watching this type of film, it shows that it is actually used for good.
Yeah, which just goes again with this whole old generation versus new generation kind of subplot in the film itself. Next, there is also a kind of update on fashion. So it's like relevant at least. This movie, if everyone was wearing like, I don't know, like 50s baseball jackets and like cheerleading outfits,
It's
it's
like an old type of film. doesn't it?
yeah, it's like
It wants to,
It's
just
got to
showing
fit, it's got to
that
fit the film,
modern.
hasn't it? The modern day.
and we
I
did
mean-
change it in the flashback as well. We made
Yeah,
the flashback look more like 2006.
yeah.
I mean, if I saw a film and had like old fashioned clothes, it wouldn't attract me because I think that's going to be quite an old type of film. Whereas seeing a new film with like new fashion and that draws, especially me, because obviously being a teenager, it draws me in more.
Just a lot
Yeah.
more easier to relate to.
Yeah.
Like, see yourself in these clothes. Like, that's the kind of thing you can say, oh, Jasmine wears that. Oh, Jasmine, Cheyenne wears that. It's like, you know. And finally, what I think is the most important in attracting our audience, like our main audience is people who are fans of the horror genre, so it is important to use scary themes and scary topics
Yeah,
just to, you know, reel them in. Like, there's no point in trying to get...
You've got to build the suspense, haven't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're not going to want to watch it. And like I say, if you've got that thrill of seeing those types of films, it's just like I say, you've got to make it as good as possible so that they are going to go see it.
Yeah, it's like there's no point having a horror film and having a horror audience without actually having horror elements inside it. So I think that's the most important.
One of the technologies that we kind of all advanced in is camera work.
Yeah, camera work.
I think
like,
mainly us two because we did it quite a lot. 'cause
yeah, like we worked on the zooming in and zooming
Yeah.
out. Like we
Yeah.
steadied it with the tripods and that. So
And you can kind of see that we have come like quite a long way.
Yeah.
I
How
think
much we've done it.
especially compared to the like preliminary task, especially you, Shine, you've like learned how to set up the camera a lot more. Like
Yeah.
I rely on you like the most to set up like
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have
setting it
no
up.
clue. I have no clue.
the disc and making sure that there's an SD card and batteries full and all that would be normally, you know.
And it's
you
like-
try it.
if we look back on the film and that, like it's like, oh, Shane, you didn't zoom in. I'm like, that was my fault, you know, because I know that it was me that was filming it. I mean, there's times when you film it and it's like you zoom in, you zoom out. We use the pan. There's other
Yeah.
techniques that we use, isn't it, from using camera.
Oh
work?
yeah, we used quite a lot to be sure.
Yeah, we did. It's like, what else could we do with the camera like
The
that?
shaky thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Point of view.
Yeah, we used
Point
like
of view.
over the
Like
shoulder
the
ones
shoulder.
as well. Yeah,
That was really good, that one.
that was good. That one. Like, I mean, we just did loads on the camera work. We worked really well in it.
Come a long way.
The technological advance we made was the software. In previous years and preliminary tasks, we did use the software, but not to a certain extent. We use it daily. Like, I think back then it was more just about cutting, you know, trimming, etc. Just piece it all
It
together.
was quite hard to do
Yeah.
as well, wasn't
That's
it?
just you guys, because I
This
didn't do
time-
it, Joe.
Yeah,
I didn't do it either.
just us.
I mean, we did it, didn't
Yeah.
we? It was like when we got told to do it, it was like, whoa, it's so
Yeah,
hard.
It was really hard.
But we progressed more into doing it.
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty
that's not like me though, because I didn't really use the software, did
Yeah.
I? So, like I say, I didn't really develop on that. So I think to improve, I think I've got to start using that
Yeah,
more
like next
to
project,
develop it.
I'll hope that you'll
Yeah.
do loads of the
Yeah.
editing, etc. But one thing I really liked this time around was the whole editing kind of side to the process because, like I said before, it's just about trimming. This time we got to like play with different filters and effects.
And we all got
like,
involved, didn't we? Everyone else
like,
gave
we
our
had to give
ideas.
our opinions,
Yeah.
like changing the brightness, to just, you know, giving it a low-key lighting, making it more horror because we were filming quite a bright day, like
Yeah,
everything looked a bit
Yeah.
happy-dolly.
We had to
until
make it more dull.
We had to reel it back in.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of in the middle, because sometimes you can make it eerie with really happy day.
Yeah.
It was kind of in the middle and it just didn't look,
Yeah.
didn't look creepy enough.
I think one of the hardest things was balancing out all the sound, which
Oh, that was really hard.
the music.
And trying to picture which sounds good for that part.
Yeah, and like making it all flow together.
What I learned, I was actually taught how to be more specific with the sound on Adobe Premiere, because initially I would just drag the volume button on the timeline, but when you clicked on it, I found out you can actually type in what hertz number you want, and that can give you a more specific.
We also
sound.
learned about we like put the title in, it flew a bit like cake, didn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
So we kind of learnt that technique as well,
Mhm.
which was quite useful.
Yeah. Text animation did take a while.
Oh,
but
God,
we
that was
managed,
long, wasn't it?
managed to get it done. And
Worth it though. Does look
Of
good.
course it was so good.
Since the preliminary task, I think we've all come quite far in terms of camera work.
Yeah.
Like I think before we were quite inexperienced in where to cut and like where to start. I think in like, for example, one of the pieces I think I said like cut and it actually came up in the footage. But we've decided we've like been able to avoid that in the main production, which is quite good. So it looks more professional.
I think we did it so we would wait at least 2 seconds after like the acting in the scene has been done to say cut, and then we press the button, or so that way like we don't hear any camera clonks or any kind of technical words or out of place like ad libs. As a group, we also learned from the preliminary task the like importance of continuity. Like we needed to make sure everything flowed and there wasn't any cuts, there wasn't any awkward jumbles. Like when we first started first, there was a few bits where we had a bit of continuity issues. I don't know.
Yeah.
Same with the preliminary task. There was quite a bit, but we just practice, like getting it right. And especially when we were filming bursts, like especially the second bit with all the main characters, we like made sure the glass was in the same place, hand positions, like because we had to keep stopping and starting. We just made sure everyone
It was
like
quite
didn't
difficult
lose.
to do it as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like we needed 2 cameras.
But at the end of the day, it ended up looking quite good and quite flowing. We made sure no one repeated like words, etc. We all just made sure like not to move during the scenes. We
Yeah.
switched.
I mean,
Yeah.
we also used like loads of random shots as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like close-ups, long
Yeah.
shots
Mhm.
from different things.
And that kind of progressed as we
Yeah.
got better.
Because in the preliminary task, it was only just 2 close-ups, wasn't it? Apart from the like shot of Jasmine walking through the door.
Yeah.
It like switched. It was just
We had 2 cameras.
yeah. But this time for burst, what kind of shots did we use?
We used like mid shots because like when you were sitting on the sofas, it was like showed like mid shots. We had a close up of my face.
Oh yeah.
We had
Yeah, pan.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, we had that as well.
I really liked the over the shoulder one. That was probably my favourite one.
Yeah.
Where-
Yeah,
because that's like
that was
quite a
good.
horror movie shot. We had the camera like right over Cheyenne's shoulder.
Point of view.
Yeah, so we can kind of
See
see
it
what
from
she's
her
seeing, and
position.
it's if we were there with her as well. That makes sense. So when the camera's
that
running
nice,
towards
isn't
her, yeah, just
Made it look as if
Heightened.
we were actually there, didn't it? It was a lot
heightened
back.
fear. Yeah, and then what other shots did I like? There was one good long shot where Cheyenne's walking across the bridge. That was just a kind of show off the scenery we had because we had the autumn scenery. So
Yeah.
it was really, really important that we,
Really fitted.
yeah, that we use location to like
Really nice.
to enhance our performance. Yeah.
That's good.
What else did we learn from our what should I call it?
Our acting skills was great.
Ah.
Improved.
They improved like an awful lot.
Yeah, I can remember me and Jasmine actually started laughing in the preliminary
Yeah, we
task of
did,
it, so we
yeah.
had to like
So
It was
many
hard. You
times.
had to
So
keep
many
in that
times you had to
like.
restart that scene.
You had to keep in like your like character, like you had to
Yeah.
literally and like doing it because obviously in our characters they had like that chemistry, didn't they? And doing that was really difficult as well because you had to show that off, and it was just.
I mean, you get a little bit stage fright at the beginning, don't you? And you get a little bit embarrassed to
Yeah,
perform it,
that
but the more you
confidence.
perform it, the more
Yeah.
you think actually this ain't that bad.
And I think
Yeah.
for Burst we actually like planned the characters beforehand a lot more, if that makes sense. So we
people
knew
we're
their
gonna be.
backstory, we knew
Yeah.
like the body language, how they should be moving, how they should react to each other, etc. etc. So we all just kind of was able to slip into these characters and actually become them, whilst with the seance preliminary task thing, kind of just we made up those characters on the spot, and you know,
Yeah, it's
went
all
into them
very
on the
fast,
spot.
really. We
Yeah.
knew what we
And
wanted.
it was, you know, one get.